So I have here two very beautiful Bibles. These are both Schuyler Quentels, as you can probably tell looking at the cover emblem there, the Jerusalem cross. The one on the left is a British tan CSB Quentel, and the one on the right is a full Yapp RSV Quentel. So it does have this extra Yapp or cover overhang there. Both are goatskin leather covers. And actually in this video, I'm not going to be looking a lot at this CSB. I plan to do a review on this Bible in more depth, but since people are really talking a lot about this newly released RSV Bible from Schuyler, I thought I would focus on this one. But I did want you to quickly see a size comparison of these two Bibles. The size difference actually is not as significant as it looks here. It's mainly this Yapp that makes this Bible look a lot bigger. The actual footprint of the pages is very similar, although I do think this one is a little bit longer in terms of page size than the regular Quentel. But it's not a whole lot different, and page width is going to be very similar. So stay tuned for a review of the CSB Quentel. I will look at this one in more detail in the future. I know some people want to know what is the difference in the font. How do those compare to each other? So I will quickly show both of these Bibles together. And you can see they're very similar, but there is a little bit of uniqueness in each of their designs. And the font in the RSV on the left is a little bit smaller than the font in the CSB, the regular Quentel. I say regular because most of the Quentels use this 11-point Milo font, and the beginning of the chapters don't have anything special. But the beginning of the chapters in the RSV, as you can tell, are a little bit unique. They have the chapter printed with that design there, little decorative design with the chapter number, and then a drop cap at the beginning of each chapter. So that's the look of those two fonts together. Maybe it would be helpful too to look at some poetry next to each other. So here's the RSV Song of Solomon and the CSB Song of Songs. Same book, just different wording for the title. And you can see how those two compare in terms of poetry. I would guess that the words per line is a little bit more in the RSV because it is a smaller font size. So I think that would make a lot of people happy, actually. And already I'm hearing that people do like the size of the font in this Bible. But this larger font has its advantages too. Obviously, being a little bit larger, it's that much more readable from a distance. Say if you have it on the pulpit, for example. I think the regular Quentel is very readable. So since there are already some really great in-depth reviews out there, I'm not going to go into a ton of depth on this Bible, but I wanted to highlight some things that stand out to me. Again, this is the full Yapp edition, and this is the first Schuyler full Yapp Bible I've ever had, and I'm very impressed with the look of this. I think that that stitching, perimeter stitching, along with this tooled line inside of it looks really nice. A lot of people have commented on the goatskin of this Bible, has just a really nice feel to it. Here's a look at the spine. The spines on the Schuylers always look absolutely fantastic. Nice spine hubs there. And this is a very red color scheme that I have here. The ribbons are double-sided satin angle cut. They are a little bit brighter looking red than the cover itself, which to my eye really has like a brick red look to it. I thought it would be nice to compare this red to the Allen, this is a ESV NCR, I think, New Classic Reader. So it's a reader Bible, and this is in blue goatskin. And I think those colors really complement each other. There's something about both of these. They're kind of muted colors. They're not super bright, but they're absolutely gorgeous. Now this, I think, is a Highland goatskin, and the Schuyler is, I think, more of a natural grain goatskin. But both absolutely fantastic, beautiful covers. And of course with Schuyler, you're going to get beautiful gilt on the side of the pages there. Really nice gold with red under gold. And they do just such a fantastic job. And now with these added internal design features with the drop caps, for this specific translation, the RSV, this is a more traditional translation because it was done in the 1950s originally. And so you can actually see that they do, for prayers, references to God, use thy. Now that is not throughout the entire Bible. If they're referencing other people that are not divine, they just use regular English. But for the Psalms, for example, when it's talking to God, you will see these and thous and thy, referencing deity, which was really just something that people retained for quite a while in the tradition of the King James, especially in prayer life. That has fallen out of use as time has gone on, but in the 1950s, for prayers, that was still somewhat common in religious circles. So you see that in the RSV. The color scheme on this is just really neat. As I said, it's very red, but they have reds that really complement each other, in my opinion, when you look at the red of the cover, the red of the liner. I think that's a dark, almost brownish red or dark burgundy. And then kind of a dark red highlight on the pages there. Looks absolutely beautiful. And again, with the red ribbons. Nice gold gilt line framing the text. When you get into the New Testament, you will see a New Testament title page. The words of Christ in the RSV Quentel are in black. And this is just a very readable Bible, even though it's a 10-point font. Again, looking at the ESV, this is actually listed as a 10-point font as well, this Allen Reader. And I would say that the RSV font looks probably a little bit larger to my eye. Now, it may not be that much larger, but to me it just looks a little bit more readable than this Allen ESV Reader. One other thing I want to point out too with this Bible is that you do have the option in the Quentel from Schuyler. In the RSV, they do also have Bibles that are printed with the Apocrypha or deuterocanonical books as an extra section in the back. That is optional if you want to get a Bible with these books. Protestants do not consider this inspired scripture, but it is historically a part of many Bibles. And they are ancient writings, and a lot of people find them very interesting and useful to our understanding of the history of Judaism and Christianity. I do plan to do a video talking about why Schuyler decided to print the RSV specifically and even print it with the Apocrypha as an option. So this Bible does have those extra books in the back. It also has a concise glossary and concordance. And then after that section, there's the Bible map section. And I think everybody agrees that in the Schuyler Bibles, the maps are some of the best maps that you'll ever see. They're just really beautifully done, and people, I think almost universally, really like the paper that they print these maps on. So the wonderful Schuyler maps, as well as an index to the map section. And also in the front of the Bible on Schuyler's, you'll see some really nice pages. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention, of course, this is an edge-line construction. Very durable, very well done. But here are the presentation pages and family records pages. And I actually think this design, which they've gone with in more recent Quentels, looks particularly fitting for the RSV setting. I think that these pages, this ornate design, looks really good with what you see in the text here with the drop caps and the nice extra design features for the chapter numbers. Just has a really good traditional look, I think. So that is just a really, really nice Bible. It comes in a clamshell box, but that tells you here it is the RSV. This one does have the Apocrypha. Not all of them do if you want it without the Apocrypha. That is an option. It is in the Firebrick red goatskin, and the FY stands for full Yapp. So beautifully done. This is really their newest Quentel that they've come out with. It's kind of a special, unique Quentel, so there's a lot of buzz about it. If you have any specific questions about this Bible that you'd like me to answer, I will try to do that. Feel free to leave any questions. And of course, I'd love to hear your comments about this in the comment section. But thank you so much for taking some time to look at this Bible with me from a Frisch perspective.